Hello and welcome to Frugal Food on a Friday. Today is part of a 3-part series. So today is the first part of a 3-part series all about stuff you can take in your lunchbox for your lunch or on a picnic or on a journey. So today is all about quick and easy leftovers that you can put in pastry, pop in a lunchbox, and when you're out and about, pop it in your gob. Now, the first one, you can't beat a quiche. I don't care what anybody says, you can't beat a quiche. And the reason I threw quiche into the mix is because you've got to eat eggs when they are in date. So if you've got eggs that are, you've checked it and think, oh blimey, these are going to go out of date pretty quick. Whip up a quiche. Now, you'll see that I made the quiche in a brownie tin, and I did that on purpose. Because normally quiche is a triangle, isn't it? And it's a bit difficult to get in your lunchbox or in your bag. If it's a nice little square, you can make it go further. The great thing about the quiche as well, if you've got kids who are a bit fussy about the pastry, just cut it off. Put that out on the bird table. Give it to the dog. Eat it yourself. So, you can take it and cut it into 6 pieces or to 8 if you've got little children. Can't beat a quiche. Use up your leftover eggs because you can't eat them when they go out of date. My first lunchbox treat, which is really cheap and easy to make in advance. You could make it and have it for lunch every day for the week. It will keep for the week. Is a quiche that you can put into your lunchbox. And today, this one will have 160 grams of bacon, 1 chopped onion, and about 100 grams, and I've got here frozen leeks, but you could just use the nice green parts of your leeks and keep those in the freezer for when you need them, washed, chopped up, and they will keep really well. And I shall cook those. And there is my sautéed bacon, leeks and onions. I'm just going to put them in a bowl to cool for about 5 minutes. Next, I have taken my pastry and I have rolled it out. I have not used a quiche tin today. I'm only making a small tart really. And for this, you can see here the size of it. It's not very big, it's the size of my hand. This is a tin that I would make brownies in. And I've done this on purpose because not everybody's got a quiche tin. And I've lined it with baking paper. So when it is cool, you can just, without any stress or worry that it's going to break, just lift it out. So the next step, line any tin you've got, pie tin, quiche tin, brownie tin, with a piece of paper, baking paper, so lift it out. Roll out your pastry, Americans call it your pie crust, and pop it in. Alternatively, you may have bought frozen pastry, defrosted it and rolled it out, or ready to roll pastry, as you like. As for my quiche filling, I have 6 beaten eggs. I will now add the bacon, the leeks and the onions. I will also add 100 grams of grated cheese. You can use any cheese that you have. It doesn't matter. Any cheese that you have. After that, I will stir all of this together. I've then taken my pastry case, which I have not blind baked because I have a metal tin, and added all my ingredients. I will then stick that in the oven. I'll put the oven temperatures on the screen when this is edited. Vision this, if you will. You've cooked Sunday lunch, you've got vegetables left over, you've cooked too many potatoes. You know what it is, you've fried too many onions, you've got some bits and pieces, you've steamed too many vegetables. What are you going to do with these vegetables? I'll tell you what you can do with them. You're going to make a veggie pasty. What about if you've opened a jar of pasta sauce, or you've got some leftover pasta or a bit of cheese sauce? I'll tell you what you can do with that. Mix it up with the vegetables, stick it in the pasty. Everybody, who doesn't like a pasty? Everybody likes a pasty. Easy shape, easy to eat. And you'll see the pasties I've made here are big, hungry Michael-sized pasties. Michael is behind the camera. But if you've got children, all you need to do, cut them in half, give them half each. So here they are. Leftover, use up your veggies, what you've got in the fridge, pop it in, a veggie pasty. Next, I'm going to show you a great way of making vegetable pasties. You must be thinking, that's an awful lot of different things there. I want you to imagine you might have leftover cooked onions, some extra vegetables from dinner. You might have cooked too many potatoes. You might have opened a tin of sweet corn and have too much. Over there, you could use maybe some kidney beans. You could even use baked beans and tomato sauce. If you had any pasta sauce left over, you only need a spoonful or two to go in this. You only want it to be just moist. You could have some pesto open, literally a scraping round the bottom of the jar. When you're making your vegetable pasties, I want you to think of any leftovers that you want to put in it. All of these are cooked. It does make the cooking time quicker. You might have a few odds and ends of cheese. Any cheese could go in it. Blue cheese, mature cheese, any grated cheese you like. Something else that you could use if you didn't have any pasta sauce or you didn't have any pesto, for example, you could use a cream cheese with garlic or a cream cheese with garlic and herb. You just want to moisten it a bit inside. You could add garlic powder. You could add a sprinkle of chili powder. But what I want you to get to think of is that each little pasty is going to have about the size of your fist serving inside it. And I'm going to use my bowl here to show you. So you'd put your ingredients in to about halfway up, and this is a little French breakfast bowl. So you'd want about a cupful of filling to go in each pasty. So here's my little bowl full, and I've mixed it all together. I'm going to take now a breakfast spoon and I'm going to add that much pesto to it. I'm then going to mix that all together. Next, I have taken my pastry and I have rolled it out, and I've used a plate the size of my hand to cut round to make it circular. A handy tip for when you're making a pasty is pre-fold it. Just gently and back again, and then you can see the line where it's halfway, and you want your ingredients to go on the halfway mark. So I've wet the edge of the pastry with water and a pastry brush, turning it away from me, and then taking the pasty and I'm going to crimp it. You could just get a fork and press it down all the way round, but I am going to crimp it. So I'm taking a finger and a thumb. Finger, pull, turn over, thumb in. Finger, over, thumb in. Over we go. bit of sauce on my hands. It's not perfect. And there it is. And you can see it's my hand size. It's only a little pasty. And I'll repeat that with a couple more. I'm now going to liberally glaze these with a beaten egg. This is not an essential step, but I have eggs that are getting pretty close to their use-by date. So I don't want to waste those eggs. And you'll see when these come out of the oven, it makes them really shiny. And if you're wondering why these eggs are so very, very yellow, these are free-range eggs and the yolks are so much brighter. These are actually eggs from chickens that live in, somebody keeps them in their woodland. So their chickens that forage for all sorts of natural things out the ground, and their eggs are extremely good. So Zoe, if you are watching, thank you for the eggs, and I'm using them up. There we are. And I'll pop those in the oven. I will add the oven temperature and cooking times when I edit this. If you're watching this in the UK, there's a very famous bakery shop, isn't there? You know the one, the blue one, you know the one. I'm not saying their name, they're not sponsoring this, I'm not advertising for them, but anyway, they do a very popular range of savoury takeaways, and one of them is a sausage, bean and cheese little pie. Genius! So you've got some leftover sausages, you've got that odd bit of cheese that you need to grate and get used up. It's going a bit dry. You got half a tin of baked beans left. I'm going to show you what you can do with it. Here's another brilliant way of using up leftovers to make a real special thing that I can remember my kids loving as when they were teenagers. It's the kind of thing they'd go down the local bakery of a certain brand in the UK that's a bit expensive but very popular, and pick up a sausage, bean and cheese slice. Kind of like a pasty but square. So I have got about a cupful of leftover cooked sausages that I've cut up into little pieces. I've got a full cupful here of grated cheese, and I've got about half a cup of baked beans. And all I'm going to do for the filling is stick these in a bowl and combine all of them. I've rolled out my pastry, this time into 2 oblongs. And so I know where to put my filling. I fold it over, I can see my halfway mark. I want the filling to go kind of here. So when I fold it over, I'll have 2 square little kind of pies really. So let's try filling these up. Cheese, bean and sausage. I don't think anyone eats as many baked beans as British people. They have them for breakfast, they'll have them on toast for tea, and they'll even put them in pastry like this. They've got lots of protein in them. They're tasty. If you're worried, you can get the low sugar and low salt ones. These ones here in France don't seem to be anywhere near as salty as the ones I used to get in the UK, nor are they as sweet really. So there we are, I've fitted it in. There you are, you can see that. Just checking it's in shot. And I'm going to fold them over. And you can see like little squares. The very famous bakery, I won't mention on here, they're not sponsoring me, so I'm not advertising them, that I mentioned, makes other little pies just like this size, and they're called a steak slice, and they're very popular. So there we are, they're all the way around. Now I'm just going to get the fork and mark them. Yeah, I'm in shot, you can see that. And all the way around. I'll do that all the way around, and then I will glaze them with an egg and pop them in the oven. I'll put the oven times and cooking times up on the screen when it comes to editing. Who knew that you could have a ferret around in the fridge, find a few leftovers, and you could turn that into bits and bobs that are really tasty and go in your lunchbox? I know we've seen all of these pure and wonderful bento boxes, but any of you who've got older children or you've ever had teenagers, you know, you're giving them bits of cucumber in the shape of a panda's face. You know what they're going to say? Mother, no, mum. What I'll have, mum, is a sausage, bean and cheese slice, if you don't mind. So I hope you enjoyed them. Take your leftovers, turn them into something, get them in your lunchboxes. Just leaves me to say, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you want more frugal food on Friday, make sure you hit the subscribe button. A thank you to everyone who leaves a comment. Tell me, what do you rustle up out of the fridge to turn into something to take for lunch? Let me know. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.